Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, girls. So now we'll start our today's lecture with some important points about the poem Time, Gentleman Time. We'll first talk about its themes. Actually, the poem gives us a message that why must man live under the dictatorship of time. So he must throw away this dictatorship. Time is a phenomena which is totally powerless. It cannot control the miseries of our life. Then why it must rule our life? Then the poem gives us a message of revolt against modern machinery, weapons, and consequently it is a revolt against war. And then there is the message of the love of the past, the way how human being used to live during past ages. And then the most beautiful message of the poem is that it emphasizes the cooperation among human beings. They must depend on each other rather than depend on machines. They must help each other through the course of life rather than the machinery. So that's why because we depend too much on machine, that's why there are distances created between among men. So it's better that we should get rid of such machinery which is putting so much distance among us. Now the next poem, that is Young and Old, and obviously it's first its explanation, so I'll directly read it and explain its lines to you. This poem is written by Charles Kingsley. When all the world is young, lad, and all the trees are green, and every goose a swan, lad, and every lass a queen. The poet Charles Kingsley is addressing a young man. He calls him lad, mean young boy. He says that world, when we are young, the world has we have a totally different realization of word. Everything looks beautiful, like the nature beauty. The beauty of nature is unfolded to its utmost. It looks us most beautiful during the time of the youth. And then he talks about two different water birds, goose and swan. Goose stands for a water bird which is not so beautiful, and then swan, that is a beautiful water bird. And both these birds actually belong to the duck family. So he says that even the people who have, or even the young people who have an average face and figure, they look beautiful, as beautiful as is a swan. So even a person who is not so beautiful, or you can say, though it's a bit hard word, ugly, but let's say to make it clear, I'm using this word. The one who is not having a really attractive face and figure looks beautiful during his time of youth. And an average girl, lass is a girl, it looks as beautiful as is a queen. So youth is it's not dependent. The beauty of youth is not dependent on anything exterior. The beauty comes from within the young people, and they look beautiful. Then hey for boot and horse, lad, and round the world away. Young blood must have its course, lad, and every dog his day. So the poet is in a very lively manner. He calls the life towards itself, towards himself, and rather he is activating a young boy by saying that this is the time that the boy must put on his boots, his long boots, which he is normally using during the journey time, and he must sit on the horseback and go around the world and have an adventurous life. He must explore the world, and he must enjoy the beauty of the world. This is the time when the young people have their energies at the highest level. So the young blood is working at its best. So man must make use of one of his time during youth, and he must enjoy the life and go around the world. And this is the time when even the dog has his day. I mean, even the lowly and humble fellows, they feel glorified, they feel energetic, they feel strong enough to go through the life. So one must go through life during youth time. Then the word is totally changed in the next stanza, as it is presented by Charles Kingsley. When all the world is old, lad, and all the trees are brown, and all the sport is stale, lad, and all the wheels run down. So then there comes the time when man gets old, and the word has totally a different realization. The same word which was so beautiful and green turns into brown. I mean, it seems to be under the influence of autumn season, and all the activities of human life, they are slowed down. That's why they don't participate. The old people don't participate in games. They don't lead an active life. Rather, their life becomes it loses its charm. It becomes stale, just like food becomes stale after a long time is passed when it was cooked. And all the wheels are run down. Mean, all the machinery of human body has spent its energies, and it has lost its energy, and it doesn't find, and man doesn't find his body strong enough to go through through the really tiring cycle of activities of life. And it is the time when he wants that he should stay at home and he must take rest. So creep home and take your place there, the spent and maimed among. God grant you find one face there, you loved when all was young. But here is a beautiful message for human beings from the poet. He says that this is the time during old age one cannot live a really active life, so one is forced to get back home, right, and have rest. And it is the time when he is maimed. Mean, he has become weak. His health is not as strong as he used to enjoy during youth time. But with the blessing of God, he must have one such companion at home who should be able to give him true love. This companion can be his wife, this companion can be his kids or his offsprings, this companion can be his friends. And rather, I would add to it that one must have a good family of obviously one's spouse, mean husband or a wife, and one must have kids whom he has brought up in such a manner that they are really good human beings, and one must have good friends along with them. So having good friends around, having a nice family around, makes the time of the old age rather beautiful. Otherwise, this is the time when man loses all his energies. Man is not all the more active. Man and women both, they are not all the more active. They are not able to go around the world and enjoy the beauties of the world. So at that time, the thing that doesn't though his youth has left him, though his energies have left him, his enthusiasm has left him, but one thing is there to take care of him, and that is the true love, his family, his friends, whom he has nurtured with kindness for all his life. So they make this time valuable and they make this time beautiful. Otherwise, it's really tough to be old if one is alone also, and one has lost all the activities of life, all the energies of life. So only one thing is there to save him, is the love that he is having around him. So with this we come to an end of the poem. The poem was rather easier and it was also brief, so we have done it quickly. After this, I would like to discuss certain points about youth and old. About the poem Youth and Old, and these are the themes or its stages. Obviously, this poem gives the stages of human life, it gives us the human life cycle. Then it talks about the beauty of being young and also powerful. It gives us an insight into the weaknesses of old age. Then at the end of it is a really beautiful message. It tells us about the comforts of true love that man enjoys during his old age. So we can say this poem, though it starts with youth and ends up at old age, and obviously youth is beautiful and old age is tiring, it is sad, but the poet doesn't end up the poem on any sad message. Rather, he is optimistic about life. His approach is optimistic. He is talking about the fact that if someone has true love, one can go through the life easily, and one must not be sad over the fact that he has lost the most important time of his life. He is happy if he has got the true love in his life. So I'm ending up today's lecture here. Inshallah, in the next lecture we are going to take up the questions on young and old. Rather, I would forward you the question about the poem Young and Old on our WhatsApp group. So please do them. Yes, they are actually about you have to prepare theme, critical appreciation, synonyms, and then there are certain questions which I will forward to you. So please do them and finish this poem properly, as I want you to attempt all these questions, and please learn them, take them as your homework and take them as your preparation for the exam. Obviously, inshallah, we'll be meeting soon, and there will be tests in the class. So please do prepare these poems properly, as you are being guided with every poem as I get giving you questions which I have found out from the past papers. So I hope you will be doing it. Inshallah, meet you next with the next poem, that is Everyone Sang, and so Everyone Sang, yes, and The Seal Boy. So do prepare both these poems for the next week lectures. I'll try to finish them, even their important points along with the explanation. So please read them and learn the meanings of the difficult words even before I deliver the lectures on your channel. So please do them. Allah Hafiz. Meet you next week.